This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening once again. Hope my voice is audible to you people. So, if you are able to hear me, please type it as yes in the chat box so that I can be able to know that people are active. That's very good. Thank you for the responses. So, I expect everyone to be interactive in the session. So, it may be not possible to make you people to talk. So on certain situations, I'll be pointing up any particular person and I can be able to ask. But most of the time, we will be able to interact through the chat itself. And thank you once again for responding, and thank you all for giving a time to learn something new as a skill development. So today we have been meeting to know about what is financial modeling. So before starting with the subject, so may I know that you are whether you people are from the same class or with the same course. So can anyone unmute yourself and let me know about you people? Can anyone take an initiative? Do we have a different domain student over here,
Good
or
evening,
is that
sir.
everyone? Good evening, ma. Yeah, Asha.
Audible?
Yeah. So a little bit more.
So I am a first year student. I'm doing my
Okay.
second semester. I'm
Uh-huh.
pursuing BCom Strategic Finance.
Okay. So is that everyone are your classmates, or do we have
No,
a,
sir. No, sir. I'm sure.
different?
Um, yes, sir. I'm sure everybody is from different departments as well as different batches.
Okay. So let us take this opportunity that in the chat box, can you put it that you people are from which domain of what you people are doing it, so that I can be able to understand that. So who are all there in our session? That's good, Krupali, Madhu, Sanchana, Abhirami, Arya. Good, Rashi. Noor, Fatima. Okay, I think the people are just trying to put their information. So thank you all once again. Welcome, Umaima. Sorry if I have been spelled out your names wrongly. You can correct me. So it's been a bunch of people who are there from the different background. Most of them are from the BCom. So the intention of knowing about you people, it is like how this subject it is going to be helpful. So how a student of a particular domain can be able to make use of this skill, how they can be able to make it in a better way, how they can be able to choose as a career. So for this purpose, it was needed of your information, and thank you all once again for giving your informations. So let us know that why it is financial modeling. So why it is required to any kind of a commerce student or a non-commerce student. So it is, in a words, if you are going to say what is financial modeling is. So hope the screen is visible to you people. Okay, I'll just put this an explanation about what is financial model. Yes. So hope everyone are able to see the chat. So you can have a look on that chat. If you want, you can be able to take a screenshot of it, or you can be able to copy and paste it in case if we are using it with a laptop or computer. So later on I can be able to share it with few of the information documents to you, so that you can be able to have a document. And also this is a practical orient subject, so I'll be expecting you people to take some time to go up with that, whatever the assignments we are going to provide it in the coming sessions. So I request you people to give some time on that part. Okay. So financial modeling is a representation in numbers of a company's operations in the past, present, and the forecasted future. So such models are intended to be used as a decision making tools. So that means financial modeling, it is not only the people who are there with the background of only with the BCom or the uh, a BBA. So only with the administration or with the accounts or financing. So it could be for anyone who is going to be running their business, or who are interested to start with a business, and who are interested to buy someone's business. So if you want to know about it, so whether to go ahead with that business, so to know about their past, present, and the forecast, that is the future, if you want to plan it, so whether to go up with this business or not, so it will be helpful to take a decision. So financial modeling, it can be a decision making tool, so which will help you to understand the business, and you can be able to take the decision on that basis. So the information what you are going to collect, what the informations are really required to be checked out. So that is what we are going to learn with financial models that are used by the organization for various reasons, like tracking the company's performance. So that is the future. You can be able to forecast it, and the past and the present performances, and the budget making, and to see that whether is it a risk to take up with this business or not, and evaluate its the business value. So financial valuation is a practice of forecasting the free cash flow, measures the company's ability to produce what investors care most about. So cash that's available to be distributed in a discretionary way. So whenever you are going to think about the business, it is mandatory that you should have a cash with you. Or when you are going to take up anyone's business, you have to know that what is the cash they are going to have it, and whether it is of yours or it is going to be someone else. So you are supposed to be able to understand this completely, the overview of the business. So how you can be able to take up that in the future, whether it is going to be a profitable business, or is it taking a neutral step, that so we'll think about it, will take some more time. So to have a decision, so financial modeling and valuation process, it is very much necessary. So a business can be done by any kind of person. So it's not only the person who has been educated or not educated, but as a person who is well known about that will be able to take a good decisions to grow up their business life. Okay, so now is it only the financial modeling it is going to help out to the people who are going to start with a business or who are already running the business? No, you can be able to take this as a part of career growth also. So when you are going to think about this, that whether it is go there are whether there are possibility of getting a jobs on this, yes, definitely you can be able to get the uh, bunch of opportunities on a different industries. So on this part, so as an analyst, you can be able to get a lot of opportunities. So where you can be able to be as a risk manager or a risk management analyst, or it could be a financial advisor, financial analyst. So like this, and in a different industries, either it could be on a manufacturing, or it could be on service industry, or it could be on trading industries. So or it could be an investment banking. So any sector you can be able to choose with this, the opportunities are there. So this concepts what we are going to learn it. It is going to be learn it with a simple financial models or as a complex financial models. We are going to use a tool called as Excel. So how many of them are familiar with Excel? So please put it as me on the chat box. Good. Fine. Thank you for the responses. So I expected, let it be there with all the 16 members of this group, so to be active. And I would like to uh, go with some basics of the Excel part so that we can be able to very clear in that, and which will be used as an kind of a tool where you can be able to find it out with the financial analysis. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen. Please confirm me whether the screen is visible to you people. Give me a moment. So hope the screen is visible to you. So if the screen is visible, please put it as yes. Good. Thank you for the responses again. Yes. So now let us see with the basics of some important things which we are regularly using it as an for a calculation purpose. So how do you give with this answer? So let me go with so some conditions. So how do you calculate the sum? So can anyone unmute yourself and can you guide me that? So here I have given with certain types of options over here. So can you try to give me the answer for this? Anyone? So try it on your side. So either it is a right or wrong. We'll see it later.
Sir, sum function
Yeah, we can use a sum function. So
is
how
equal
do we
to
start with this?
sum open
Yes. So
brackets
yeah. So always
C.
whenever we are going to do any kind of a calculations, so it is always to be used with equal to. Yes. So in this we are going to start up with some functions. So you can type it and you can start it to calculate it with that function by using the open bracket. So in case if you are not going to give an open bracket, you can give it as tab so that automatically it will select with that particular. function name and starts with open bracket. Yes, ma, go ahead, ma.
C4.
Okay, so
Uh, yeah.
C4.
Colon. I am not sure about this.
Okay, so you can see on the right hand side next to this cell where the total marks is there, next to that it is being given with certain kind of conditions. So on that basis, can we do it anything with that? So it is asking us to use with the comma. So after C4, you can give it as comma, D4 comma, and E4 and close the bracket. So is it giving the value? So hope you people have well understood this, that we can be able to do this sum function by using the comma. So that is by giving the sum option, and while selecting the cell, you can give the, instead of colon, you can be able to use with a comma and you can be able to calculate it. Okay, so that's good. Thank you for your response, ma. So is there anyone who can say what it could be the range calculation? So let me try it. So it is going to be like this. So equals, so start with sum function, open with the bracket by using the tab key, and here you can see that range means it is selecting the continuous cells values. So I am selecting the C4, oh sorry, C5, and selecting with this with other numbers. So here I am not selecting each and every cell one by one. I'm selecting it at one shot. I'm dragging it. I'm selecting that the complete row. So is that everyone understood with this? So what do you mean by range? So instead of selecting one by one, we are going to select it with a complete row, that is from where to where you are going to start and it is going to get ended. So this we call it as an range, sum range calculation. Close the bracket and press enter. So you can be able to get the value on this part also. The next thing is using plus symbol. So you can use this equals to, so instead of using the sum function, can we use it with this? Let's see, C6 plus plus. So this is how you are going to use the sign of it, that is a plus symbol sign, and you can be able to calculate it even without using with sum function. The next, using Autosum. So here you can be able to select this range, and can anyone let me know that by using which shortcut key or by using which key I can be able to hold that cell and I can be able to drag it to the destination cell. So that is
So
from,
is it shift?
yeah, yes, ma'am. That's good. Thank you for the answer. So you will be holding the shift button and you are using a right arrow key and you are going to select the cells. Okay. So by selecting all these cells. Okay, so you can be able to click on Autosum, which is there on the top right hand side. So is that the everyone are able to see the screen, and where is my cursor? So it is there in the editing tab. So the auto sum is there option. So if you are going to click on that button, so after selecting the cell values and click on auto sum, so automatically it is going to give the values over there. The next thing is, so it is asking us to look below. So where is that looking below? So first you select it again, and my request for you people, when you are going to use with the Excel, so try not to use with the mouse, avoid using the mouse as much as possible. So try to use only the keyboard and try to use with the shortcut keys. Try to be more practice with the shortcut keys, so that it will make you to be an expert in the Excel and give the results on the screen at faster way. Okay, so I'll use the shift key and right arrow and select it. So now it says that you have to look below of the screen. So you can see here at the bottom of this Excel screen. So you can be able to see this. There are certain kind of the informations are provided over here, which we call it as a information taskbar. So you can be able to see this. The values are shown over here. So average value, the total count, and the sum value. So before continuing it, so can I know that how many of them are using a laptop or a computer as of now, and you are doing it together with me? Are you trying? Anyone is trying from here, or is that everyone have been logged in through a mobile? So how many of them are using with mobile? So type it as mobile. Okay, so that's okay. So I'll be sharing the document to you after the session, so that you can be able to make use of this Excel sheet, and you can be able to practice what all the things we have been done with in the session, right? Fine. So let us go for the next thing. Yes. So here, when I'm going to select that particular cells, so I'll be able to get the values over here. In case if you people are not able to see with the values, so it's not displaying with the some details over there, then right click over there. So when you are going to right click on that, we call it as a status bar. So here you can be able to see the options. So what are the options do you want it? So that you can be able to check on it, so that it is going to get displayed over there. So if I am going to uncheck this, it does not show the values over there. Okay. So in case if it is not displaying, you can be able to check with this and you can enable it. So the value we have to write it manually for this. Okay. So the next thing is, so hope you people have been understood till now in what are the various ways we can be able to calculate it with. So now we can be able to go with the next concept, that is using the insert functions. So how you can be able to, sorry, just a moment. Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. So the particular feature, it is not getting enabled. So sorry for this. So I'll let you know on this part in the next session. So the finally, what we are going to see with this is the total. How do you make this total? So you can be able to use the alt equals to button. So that you can be able to get connected with all the cell values which are there above this cell. So in case if it is any information is missing, so in between if you have been hidden with any kind of cell values, so that it will not get connected with, it will not go to the top of the first cell in that particular column values, so that you have to use the shift key and up arrow key and you have to select it. By default it is going to get selected. In case if there is in between any values it has been hidden, so that it is not going to move the cursor above that hidden content. So in that case you are supposed to use the shift key and up arrow key, so that it is going to get selected with all the range values on the column wise. So once after using the alt equals, it is going to act like an Autosum option. So instead of clicking on that Autosum button over there, you can use a shortcut key as alt plus equals and press enter. so that it is going to give the total values. So these are the different ways how you can be able to calculate with the sum function. So the next thing is subtraction. So here we don't have it anything as an function as a subtraction. So you can be able to do it manually, equals to, and select the first cell value and give the symbol minus and select the second value, so that it is going to show the difference of the first cell and the second cell. And if you want to implement the same function to all the rest of the other cell values, so you can be able to do it in two ways. So one is either select all these cells by using the shift key and down arrow key and press Control D. So you can be able to get the values same as per that function what we have implemented for the first cell. So it is going to get copied to the other cells. So you can be able to see the first one is C5 minus D5 and the second one is C6 minus D6. Like this, you can be able to select the cell which has a function, and with that you also select the other cells which are empty, which has to be copied with that functionality. So this is one way. Otherwise, you can be able to select only the first one which has been given with the result, and at the corner of the cell, so you are going to bring the cursor. You can see the size of it. It is going to have a variation when you're going to bring at the corner. So you can hold the mouse and you can be able to, that is left key of the mouse, you can hold it and you can be able to drag it and drop it or leave it at that last cell where you want to end up with that values. So this is another way. So one is Control D. Control D, it represents the D means down. So you are bringing up the functionality information to the downwards arrow selected cells. And this is one is holding and dragging it to the down. And another one is, so just bring the cursor on the corner of that cell and double click over there on that corner, double left click, so that automatically it will fills up to the end of the table. So these are the three ways where you can be able to apply the same functionality values to the other selected values or other cells which are there in that table. Okay, so hope this has helped you to come to know a new kind of functionalities. Okay, so please implement it, and this is not only applicable for the subtraction, so it is applicable for any kind of calculation. So to get the values, the functionalities for the different functionalities, values to be dragged and dropped to the other cell addresses. Okay, so this is how the subtraction we are going to do with. So the next part is average. So the average, so here you can be able to use a functionality. So equals to, type it as average. So I'm not going to type it the complete word. So I'm just going to write it the first and second letter of it and use the down arrow and place the cursor on that particular function and press tab key, so that it is going to get applied with that functional option on that particular cell. So it is not mandatory to write it completely, and you manually are going to give it as open the bracket to start with the calculation. So it is try to make it as much as easy as possible. So type it one or two letters and try to use the up and down arrow key, and do not press enter. So try to use the tab key to activate that function. Okay. So now again use the up arrow key, hold the shift key, and use one by one down arrow key, or you can press control shift and down button. So if you are going to use only the shift and use the arrow keys, you will be able to select one by one cell only. Suppose if you want to select it, the particular column or the particular row in which the cell values are already specified. So till the last, if you want to select it at one shot, then you can be able to use the shortcut key as control shift, so that it will help you to select that particular column or the row which has been given with the values at one shot can be selected. Okay, so close the bracket and press enter. So this is how you can be able to bring the value. And if you want to do the same thing over here, either I can give it the same formula equals to average, and I can be able to do the same calculations. But here I want to be faster the result I wanted. Since I've already applied the same kind of function and I've got the result. So instead of me doing the same function once again for the another column, so I'll just drag this. So dragging, so come to the corner of that cell and hold the left mouse button and just drag it, so that it is going to apply the same functionality on the selected cell. Is that clear to everyone till here? So you can type it as yes, move on. If you type it as move on, I can understand that you people are able to understand with this and you can do this. So in case if you are finding a difficulty in understanding, you can stop me then and there, and you can be able to ask me with the repeating the same option once again. Good. Thank you for the responses. So the next part is sum product. So now here we have 3-column data. So in which the first one says product name, and here they want to calculate the revenue. So what is the formula to calculate the revenue is the cost of the product into units sold. So what is the value of the product for each one into the quantity into rate, we can say. Okay, so how do we do that? So you have to use equals to and do the multiplication. So either you can use it directly the cell value into this cell value, or equals to product and select the cells. So you are going to get the calculation. So either you can apply the formula or you can apply with the function. Okay, formula is like we are going to give the symbol, whereas function means it is already predefined in the Excel. So you can be able to use both the ways. So now, can anyone tell me that how can I bring the values based on the same functionalities? Can anyone unmute yourself and tell me how can I bring the revenue at one shot to all the other products?
Sir, you can drag it.
So I can drag it. So this is one way. Good. Is there any other way, Ma? So can anyone try?
Control plus D.
Yes, I didn't hear you.
Control plus D.
Control plus D. Can I press Control D directly so that it
No,
will come? Let me try.
no.
No.
First, you have to select like
Select the
shift
cells. Very good.
shift plus down.
Shift and down arrow key. Very good. So otherwise, the simple way to select the
Control plus shift to select all
Control
cells.
Shift and down arrow key. See here, the difference it is going to be there. When do
Oh.
we use the Control Shift means when you have the cell values. See, for example, if I am going to select this cell and if I try to select it, the complete row or
Mm-hmm.
complete column, so I can use Control Shift and right arrow key. It is selecting the last cell value, or
Okay.
again Control Shift down arrow, it is selecting. Okay, so you should understand that when we should be able to use only Shift and when we should be able to use Control Shift. So Control Shift will work only when the cells are filled. Okay, fine. It was a good try. So we will use the Shift and down arrow and press Control D so that I can be able to get the values automatically applied on all the selected cells. Good. Now, so this was calculation of revenue. So now I have to total it. So how to total this? So what is the function can I use it to total it?
Sir, Autosum.
Very good. So I can be able to use Autosum, but how can I use the Autosum? So how can I use the Autosum option? Can anyone try? So what was the shortcut key for Autosum? If you people remember, just few minutes back we discussed. So it is Alt equals. Okay. So if you use Alt equals button, so it will select all the cells from the cell where you have been kept your cursor. So above to that to the last. Okay. So which has the values. So it will select all the numerical values having cells. Okay. So here it is also selected with the blank cell. So in this case, what I will do it is I'll just hold this shift button and up arrow key so that I can select only those cells which has a values. Okay. Why it is not? Anyway, it is a blank. It may not have any problem, but sometimes in that blank cells, if someone is going to fill it up, either you yourself might be unknowingly, you might be filled up with that values which may not be required for that calculation. So try to select only those cells which has a values. Okay, and press enter key. So the value has come. Okay, so what are the two functions did we use it in this calculations? Can anyone try to identify what are the two functions we used it to get this values with this example? So what was the function we used it to calculate the revenue? So can anyone try?
Product function.
Yes, product function, and one more was
Autosum.
the sum function. So we
Function.
used two different functions and we brought the values separately. But suppose if I do not want all these values to be shown, I just want the total of this table value. So how do I do this? So how do I get this total value only? So where it has to combine with two functions. So there is a function called sum product, and you have to see that whenever you are going to use any functions, you can see that after the bracket here it is going to highlight certain things. So you have to follow with that and you have to get the values as per that requirement to calculate that function value. So it says array 1. So array 1 means it is the values what you want to use it to calculate the column values. So I have to use this array selected cell values, and if I want to use the another array, so it is asking with what do you want to calculate this. So I have to use the comma to go for the next requirement. Then I have to select the second array, and in case if there is any many other columns, so you can be able to give it by using the comma. So since there was only two, I have given 1 and 2 and close the bracket and press enter. So you can be able to get the same value. So in case if you require only the total value, you can be able to apply with this. So hope you have understood with some product function also. Okay, so I didn't get any kind of response. Is that everyone understood with this? Type it as yes. Good. Thank you for the response. Now we'll go for the next one. So sorting the values. So here we have certain kind of data. So where if I want to view this data in my required format, so how do I bring this? Okay, so now for example, in this table, so we have month and amount. So I want this amount to be shown with the month, where it should be as per the months, like as per the calendar period. So what the months is there, I want the values to be shown in that way. Okay, so I want to rearrange my data. So sorting means it is rearranging. So how you can be able to arrange the data as per your requirement. So you can be able to select the data. Okay, so I'll select this and control shift down arrow key so that I can be able to select all the cells which has a value. The whole table I have selected it. So here you can be able to see in the editing section. So there is an option called sort. So you can go over here and you can be able to use it. So in case if you want to sort it only as an ascending order, descending order, lowest to highest or highest to lowest values. So you can choose it directly. Okay. Suppose if you are very specific that you want that data to be shown in the specific format only, then you can be able to choose with the option called custom sort. So here you can be able to select that particular column. So I want to change only the month and let it be as cell values only. And here instead of using A to Z or Z to A, I'm going to create my own list. So here you can be able to see that. So the months, it has already been listed out over here. In case if it is not listed, you can be able to type it over here manually and click on add option. Okay, so I'll show it one by one. I'll show with the default one. So let me select with the January, February. I want the data to be shown in this format and click on OK and click on OK. So you can see the data. It is going to be arranged in the given sorted order format. So hope you people have been understood with this. Should I repeat it or can we go ahead with next? So type it repeat in case if you want repeat. In case if you have understood, type it as next so that we can move to the next option. Okay, that's good. So now here there is a data where it has been given as north, east, west, south values. So I want this data to be shown as south, east, north, west. So I want the values to be given as south, east, north, west. So I want the data to be shown in this way. So let me type it over here. So I want the data south, east, north, west. So let me select this cells, then use a sort, custom sort. Make sure that it is going to show the column heading name. So I'll select it as zone and custom list, and here since what I was required, so it was not there. So here I am going to type it manually. South, east, north, west. So in this format I want it. So after writing it, I'm going to click on add, so that it is going to get added with this required list, a customized list. So click on OK and click on OK, so that it is going to give the report as per your sorted order only. Okay, so this is how you can be able to use the predefined list, and you can be able to create your own list as per your data requirement. Okay, so when I send you the document, please try it out with this way: associate, manager, senior manager, then director. So try with this format. Okay, so the next one is, so here we are going to call it column sorting, or we can call this as an filtering. Yeah, so what do you mean by filter? So the difference between the sorting and the filter is, sorting is rearranging the data which you have been selected, or the table data what you have it. So within that table, it is just going and it is going to change the space. So change the position of your data. But filtering means it is like you are going to keep the data only what you want to see it, and rest of the other data it is going to get hidden. So it is not going to get deleted, it is only going to be hidden. So this is filtering. So here in this filtering, so we can be able to see that it has been asked that client name contains mills and private. So how to find out the values which are there with only with this content? So client name, mills and private. So first you have to select the heading. So select the headlines and use the filter. So you can see that in the editing, you can be able to get an option as sort and filter. Click over here and click on filter option. Okay, so you can be able to see this filter. So in the client name, so select only that particular heading which has a client name. Click over here, and here you have an option as text filters. So in this text filter, you can be able to select with contains option. So it has been given in the question itself. So to be chosen with contains option, click on contains, and here you have to type it. So what is that you require? So type it as mills, and once again with contains, but whether to be choose with the option as and or. So let's see that when I'm going to choose contains with one requirement, and if I'm going to use and function, and if I'm trying to find this information. Whether is it going to give me the answer? No. So it is not giving the answer. So let me go back to that filter option and click on clear filter, so that whatever the data is been hidden based on the command what you gave, so it is going to be get removed and it is going to get back the real data. Now once again I'll go with client name, text filter, contains, and here I'm going to type it as mills. So instead of and, I'm going to choose it as or and choose with contains option. And here I'm going to use it as private. So now if I click on OK, so it is going to give me that results which has the word as mills and the word as private, that is a PVT. So why it was not happening with the and, why it was happening with the or? So if I give it as and, so that means whatever the text, the command what you are giving, so it should contain both mandatorily. And means both should be there, mills as well as private. So when any data is having both the command what you are given, so in that cases it is going to show that value when you use the and option. When you are going to use the or, that means either mills or private. So you show me the results of both the content which is contained. Okay, so this is how you can be able to get the values by using the filter option. So again, let me go and clear the filter. So second condition says the show the data which is colored in orange. So now I have to select that particular location, so which has been colored with. So here it is there with the both the function. Color wise also I can filter, text wise also I can filter it. So here my requirement is filtering with the color wise. So let me choose this color. So since there is only one color, it is showing that one color. If you are going to use multiple colors, it will list it out and you can be able to choose with that option. So I can choose this color so that I can be able to get the data which has been given with only with that color. And you can see that due to that selection of that particular cell value which is colored, all the other cell values in that table, it has been changed to the value. Okay, so this is how you can be able to use with a different various type of filtering. So that is a text filter as well as with color filter. Okay, so try to use with all these features. Okay, so that we can be able to discuss with many more other type of functionalities in the Excel, so that this could be helpful to you to learn with the advanced concepts in this module. Okay, hope the way of explanation it has been made you to understand the concept. So in case if you find it difficulty, please let me know in the initial stage itself, so that we can be able to have a good interaction between us, and it could be a suggestion to me, so that I can be able to uh, implement myself in what you are expected way it is. Is that fine? Everything till now what we have been discussed? Okay. Thank you, Sneha, Kavya, Abhirami. So, and all others. So, can anyone unmute yourself and let me know that what is the timing it has been given for you for this session?
Sir, it's 6 to 7:30.
6 to 7:30. Okay, fine. So you can be able to use the same link for the other sessions also, until and unless we are going to have, in case of any changes in the uh, link. Okay. So I'll be sharing you the document through the WhatsApp group, so which we have been going to interact it. Okay. So please make sure that you are going to practice with all this, and you are going to get back with any kind of questions if we have it, so that we will clear the doubt, and then we are going to start with the next concepts in the coming session. Okay. And I request everyone to get logged into the session, so at least by 6:05, so we can be able to discuss more and more in this 1.5 hour. Okay. So, and let it be more interactive. If any questions it could be there, please raise it. Okay. So after 6:10, the meeting it is going to get logged. If anyone is going to have any kind of issues, they can be able to put it that in the WhatsApp group also. Okay. So that's it. So we will wind up for the day. Thank you all for supporting. Have a nice time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.